guys, Willie here with W.T.F car reviews, and today we're reviewing the all-new 2024 Toyota Tacoma SR5.
And a big thanks to T and the rest of the management and staff here at Toyota of Tampa Bay for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to our inventory below, and if you're looking for a new car, SUV, or truck in the Tampa area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out and ask for T.
And for those of you guys who don't know, the Tacoma started off as Toyota's compact pickup back in 1995, moving up to the mid-size segment for its second generation in 2004, and sticking to it all the way up to this all-new fourth generation Tacoma released this year for 2024, featuring a more rugged laser-welded high-strength steel frame shared with the larger Tundra, and also gets an aluminum body to help reduce the overall weight. The fourth generation Tacoma adds an effortless electric steering rack, four-wheel disc brakes finally, and an all-new 2.4-liter turbocharged four-cylinder which can crank out anywhere between 228 horsepower and 278 horsepower, depending on the trim level and the transmission choice, and between 243 pound-feet of torque and 317, and that's for the non-hybrid trims. The available hybrid power plant cranks out 326 horsepower, 465 pound-feet of torque. There are 6 trim levels available for the 2024 Toyota Tacoma, ranging from the $31,000 base SR all the way up to the $52,000 limited. Here we have the SR5, which sits right above the SR with a $36,000 base price, but here we have the higher option group. I believe it's called a deluxe package or the upgrade package for $3,000, giving you some really useful goodies. So with a base price of $39,000 with that optional equipment package, get some kids over there making some serious noise. What else we get for that money? Let's jump right in. Also, for 2024, we get these all-new LED headlamps, so a projector LED for the high and low beam. We get a halogen turn signal, but a really clean overall look with this black headlight housing, contrasting this white paint really nicely. Black grille too, no functional airflow underneath the headlight, and functional airflow in the corner. We get full front parking sensing, LED fog lights panel for your advanced safety features. No forward-facing camera, it is available on the higher trims, and this hood is really aggressive. Those notches in the hood really help you point and shoot this vehicle and gives you a really good idea of where the limit of this truck is. Get more airflow down below for the radiator and intercooler, more functional airflow part of this fender flare. The wheels are a little bit on the basic side. We do get a 6-slug pattern and a pretty beefy dual piston brake caliper. They're 17-inch rims wrapped in 245/70 R17 Toyo tires, open country HT all seasons. So the 245 wide tires, we'll see if it puts the power down out rear. It does have four-wheel drive, but I do not plan to use the four-wheel drive. One thing I'm noticing is there's a nice little bed liner material here in this paint to help keep it a little bit more on the rugged side. At least I hope this is intentional. It does look a little bit more durable than the rest of this truck. Anyway, continuing along, we get some side steps too. Smart access for the driver and the front passenger. We get a two-tone contrasted mirror with blind spot monitoring on the glass. All black trim for the bottom part of this window trim, blacked out B-pillars too. The gas cap, it's not push to open, but there's no latches to pull, no easy fill. And you can throw, I believe, 87 octane fuel, but I would definitely recommend sticking a premium for this higher output 2.4-liter turbocharged four-cylinder. Another thing, we don't have leaf springs anymore here on the 2024 Tacoma. Hopefully you can pick up the suspension setup back here. Awesome. The rear wheel and tire setup is the same thing as up front. The only difference is a smaller brake caliper. The rear end styling, here we have the 5-foot box, but the rear end styling reminds me a lot of the Tundra with the LED taillights, turn signals, and reverse lights. Rear parking sensing, we get the exhaust tip too, Tacoma badge. You can get the black inserts too, which would contrast this white paint beautifully. We get Toyota etched on this grab handle, their backup camera right next to it. It says Tacoma on the top of this tailgate. Dropping this tailgate, it is damped. That is nice. And we get a full composite bed, so no need to get a spray-in bed liner. One of the more durable beds in the business, with about a 1,700-pound payload. I believe it's 1,750 if you go for the iForce Max models, and about 1,709 pounds if you go for the hybrid. The max towing, I believe, is 6,500 pounds if you go for the turbo models, and 6,000 pounds with the hybrid. We get the LED lighting back here too. Rails, additional rails in the front and 2 additional ones out rear. What you see is basically what we get. We don't get a side step. Since it's a mid-sized truck, it's not nearly as difficult to get in and out of the bed area as compared to a Tundra. Tow hitch, as we mentioned, 6,500-pound towing, 6,000 if you go for the hybrid. Exhaust tip in the left corner. And speaking of exhaust tip, let's fire up this 2.4-liter turbocharged four-cylinder, and here she sounds. right, guys, that was the sound of the 2.4-liter turbocharged four-cylinder sold by Toyota for the 2024 Tacoma SR5. And it sounds okay, making a very solid amount of power at 278 horsepower, which isn't a huge improvement compared to the previous generation, but 317 pound-feet of torque, which is enough to get the 2024 Tacoma to 60 in under 7 seconds with over 20 combined MPGs. What you see is basically what we get. We can shut this hood right down. No hydraulic struts, at least not for the SR5 model. Maybe the higher trims do get them. We'll take a quick look at this window sticker, see any features I may potentially miss on this 2024 Tacoma SR5. Standard features, you guys can pause, take a look. Options, deck rails and cleats are $70, that's a good value, and $3,000 for the SR5 upgrade package. Giving us a leather trim steering wheel with the JBL premium audio system with the JBL Flex portable speaker, and we'll check that out in 1 second. Really cool feature for the $3,000 price point. We also get an integrated trailer brake controller and a power horizontal rear window. More of the distributor options, you guys can pause, take a look, with a total price after all these options at around $57,000 after destination. You get Tacoma chrome lettering on the driver and passenger door with SR5 on the rear passenger doors, and if we didn't mention, 4x4 in the lower left corner of the tailgate. But taking a step inside, we can really check it out. Again, we have smart access for the driver and the front passenger, and I like the two-tone contrasted door handles. Inside, I like the space that we have up top, making it very comfortable to rest your arm, but unfortunately for the SR5, this is just a hard plastic trim. We still get a gushy soft armrest, some good graining material for this middle portion, plastic door handle, 4-window auto one touch, 4-way adjustable mirrors, lock and unlock, and we get 2 tiers of storage. The bottom tier is impressive. You'll fit a foot long in here if you can omit the 2 12 to 16 ounce bottles. You'll easily fit a foot long, maybe even a 14 to 16 inch sub up top. Taking a step inside, the steps make it a lot easier getting in and out. We get electric lumbar control, but everything else is manually adjusted. You can still recline, drop, lift, and slide the front seats. For this price point, power seats would be appreciated. The cloth seats, we do get the leather trim steering wheel, part of that $3,000 upgrade package, but for $3,000, leather seats would also be appreciated, but they are available on all of the higher trims. Taking a step inside, we don't get a grab handle here because it's a mid-size SUV, so I guess you can use your door as a little bit of support, or the running board. But in my opinion, these running boards are a little bit small. My foot doesn't quite have that much space to really use them, so I would prefer actual side rails instead of just these little steps. But anyway, taking a step inside, foot on the brake, engine start stop, and everything fires right to life. But first we notice, for the sub $40,000 base price, we get some really nice options and features. The materials, at least for the areas that you touch, are very high quality. We get the stitched horn itself, loud and aggressive. People will be definitely getting out of your way. We'll do a window check. It's not a dual pane, but it's a thick single pane, so it should keep the wind noise nice and quiet. The leather wrap steering wheel is thick, fat 10 and 2, perforated 10 and 2, and a nice 9 and 3 area as well. 3 spokes down below, 6 o'clock spoke and 2 armrest spokes. The steering wheel we can return, adjust the infotainment, volume and skip controls on the opposite side, radar cruise control with our lane keep assist up top. Voice commands too, we mentioned the infotainment. We can right now adjust between our meter settings, vehicle settings, RSA, PKSB, lane traction control, all the advanced safety features. Messages, fuel economy, you can go between eco indicator and the average fuel economy. Compass, you can also see the adaptive cruise control, song that's currently playing, vehicle settings with the auxiliary gauges, battery level, oil pressure. We can also check out the oil temperature, coolant temperature, I-Force boost gauge, that's a cool feature, drive info, trip A, trip B, tire pressure, traction monitor, pitch and roll, and the trailer brake controller, trailer brake blind spot mode, as you guys can see, is also available. Ton of adjustability here on this 8-inch digital gauge display. The tach goes to about 6,200 RPM with a digital speedo in the center. Coolant temperature on the left side, fuel level on the right side, temperature in the top right corner, mileage in the lower left corner. We get the fuel level in the bottom right corner with the clock in the top right corner. Awesome. The stocks have a satisfying click, auto headlamps, and auto high beams. No auto rain sensing wipers, but I'm sure it's available in the higher trims. Fog lights too. Tilt and telescoping steering wheel, the interior brightness right here to the left. You can also adjust the height of the high beams, auto high beams. You can turn off the traction control. You can turn on or off your door lights. Hopefully you get a good look at the pedals. The trim for the dashboard is all hard plastic. You're gonna be saving money everywhere that you can. You mentioned the JBL sound system though, and it sounds really good. Another cool thing about the JBL sound system is this removable center speaker. So a lot of you guys that buy Tacomas probably have a boat, and if you're going out on the boat, this waterproof Bluetooth speaker is a huge addition to the party. You can buy a separate portable speaker from like Best Buy or whatnot. It's about $200, but if you're gonna get an upgraded system in your Tacoma, it's actually a really cool feature that you can actually remove the center speaker and bring it wherever need be. We also get our 8-inch touchscreen. Unfortunately, Toyota systems are subscription based. We will not be able to check out the navigation, but you can take my word for it. This navigation system is really impressive. We get our music, you can see your phone information and the vehicle information with trip information and vehicle alert with overall settings to the bottom left corner. Volume dial, this JBL system sounds really good. For copyright reasons, we will not be able to demonstrate it. Engine start stop, trailer brake controller, air vents. We get single zone auto climate control, but although this is auto climate, the vent controls are really convenient in case you don't like auto climate. Defrosters, wireless charging pad, 2 USB-C ports, 1202, crap handle, which is rubberized for your passenger if you're driving like a maniac. The gear selector controls the all-new 8-speed automatic transmission. Previously only available to 6-speed, which was considered one of the more bulletproof transmissions in the business, but this 8-speed, considering Toyota's reputation, should still be solid. Super high resolution backup camera, guidance lines, and trajectory. You can check out a wider view and right back where we were, and you can turn on or off the guidance lines and trajectory if you'd like to for one reason or another, but I personally prefer if they stayed on. We have manual shift controls. You got to push the gear selector to the left, upshift and downshift in the improper directions. No paddle shifters. For a pickup, really not a big deal. Electronic parking brake with brake hold, also new for the new generation, all new 4th generation Tacoma. Tow haul mode, ECT power, which kind of functions as a sport mode. 2-wheel drive high, 4 high and 4 low, no 4-wheel drive auto. This is where your auxiliary gauges or buttons would be if you had one of the higher trims like a TRD Pro or Limited. 2 cup holders, you'll fit 24 to possibly 32 ounce water bottles. The armrest is decently soft. It feels like a waterproof material. It's not the softest, but it does feel extremely durable. You'll fit 6 to 7, possibly 8 12-ounce cans in there. Solid size center console, and the glove box says Tacoma up top with a small little second tier up top. Damped, not lined with felt, but you'll fit probably 35, 40 license plates. You'll easily fit a pair of shoes in there, possibly 2. We get basically frameless auto-dimming rear view mirror with 3 garage home link settings on it. You can open up the 5th window with the click of a button. That thing opens insanely quickly. I've never seen a 5th window open that quickly. It's not quite as cool as the Tundra. It has the entire piece of glass fall down. I kind of wish they added that here, but still, nice option and feature. Sunglass holder too. The interior lights are LED. Hopefully you can pick them up on camera. Awesome. That's about it though, guys, for the front seat of this 2024 Toyota Tacoma SR5 upgrade package. As far as the back seat, I've heard a lot of people complain that the new 4th generation Tacoma is actually smaller than the previous 3rd generation Tacoma. As far as legroom, yes, it's not going to be the most impressive, but compared to like a Nissan Frontier or a Ford Ranger, it's really not a whole lot smaller. Materials back here for a $40,000 truck, I wish we had some type of hint of soft materials. It's completely hard plastic. We still get the Auto One Touch window. That's a nice premium touch for the segment. We get a grab handle back here to help us get in and out of this truck. It looks like the passenger up front also gets one, but the driver for some reason just does not. And although the legroom may be an inch or so smaller, we still get full functionality back here. We don't get a flat floor, but a ton of storage back here. You can throw fishing, hunting equipment, and keep it nice and hidden from everyone else. And you can also fold down the second row seats if you remove the headrest and have a relatively flat area back here too. Some storage, you got your jack and Flix-A-Flat kit, hook, nice for a bag, and your JBL subwoofer helps make this interior absolutely booming. And you got the sound system turned all the way up. But we mentioned smaller legroom, a little bit over 6 feet tall, sitting behind my seat settings. And I still have about an inch and a half of knee room, headroom. I got about 2 inches of headroom. So if you're under 6'3", you'll fit back here. Is it smaller? Yes, it's a little bit smaller, but is it still spacious enough? Also true. Toyota also deleted the back seat option for the non-double cab Tacomas for the 4th generation, which seemed to be what the consumers wanted, because for the 3rd generation, people who order the single cab Tacomas prefer to have the rear seat delete instead of having those pop-down seats and just have a little bit more cargo space in the back. But people who want the back seat, they tend to go for the double cab, but the double cab for 2024 does seem to be slightly smaller. We don't get air vents back here either. We do have something going on under the front seat, but nothing that blows directly into our face. The front air vents do seem to reach me pretty decently. We have a mat pocket behind the passenger seat, nothing behind the driver. 2 cup holders. We don't get any additional cup holders in any center cubby, but the 2 cup holders up front are pretty convenient. I mentioned the grab handle, no moonroof or anything. The interior light back here, LED. Cool. That's about it though, guys, for the inside and outside of this 2024 Toyota Tacoma SR5 upgrade package. I think this is a really good looking midsize pickup truck. When I was looking at trucks, the only midsize pickup at the time that I was considering was a GMC Canyon. But if this was out back then, it definitely would have at least made it somewhere on my list. It is a great looker, spacious, and super capable. I mean, 6,500 pounds of towing, 1,700 pounds of payload. That's competitive to a Tundra from both the first and early second generations. Performance-wise, let's take this 2024 Toyota Tacoma out for a drive and see what it's got. All right, guys, now we're just about seeing everything we need to see with the inside and outside of the all-new 2024 Toyota Tacoma SR5 with the SR5 upgrade package. Let's take it out for a drive and see what it's got. My first impressions, just about everything mechanically here is different from the previous model year. No more leaf springs, no more hydraulic steering rack, no more naturally aspirated V6, and no more 6-speed automatic. What do I notice? The throttle response for a Turbo 4 is still really good. I'm sure that was something Toyota thought about, because coming from that 4-liter V6, which was all about throttle response, it didn't really have much mid-range or top end, but the throttle response was amazing, and it still feels really good in terms of response here, with just globs of torque more, or globs of more torque compared to the 4-liter V6. The brakes feel good. Everything feels extremely smooth now that we don't have leaf springs out rear. You still feel that it's a live rear axle, not an independent rear suspension, but it feels significantly softer than the 3rd generation. We're not in the ECT power mode, but just about half throttle. Good torque. Yeah, this thing has a lot of pull, and the transmission shifts really crisply. At around 45 miles an hour, we're turning 1,500 RPM. The turbo spools up immediately. It almost feels like a naturally aspirated power plant. As soon as you touch that throttle, you're accelerating. I feel like the throttle response with this 2.4 is actually better than the 3.4 that we get from the Tundra. Maybe it's because this thing weighs more than 1,000 pounds less, but either way, it feels really good. We don't have a traditional sport mode here, but we'll try out this ECT power mode once we take a step out onto the highway and just see what changes up. We're just cruising along, really quiet and really smooth. We could take a step out here, try it out in this ECT power mode, see what changes up. The throttle response didn't really feel any different at about half throttle. Oh, yeah, it feels a little different. Definitely a lot more aggressive tuning in the ECT power mode. It feels like the engine braking is a lot more aggressive too in the ECT power mode. We can throw it in a little bit quicker than we should. The body roll is limited. And taking a step out here on the gas. Ooh. Quick shifts. Yeah, we get up there and go. Unfortunately, quite a bit of traffic here on the highway, but getting up to highway speed is effortless. I could see 0 to 60 happening in about 7 seconds, maybe even quicker if you get a really good launch with this 4-wheel drive system. I know Car and Driver tested the TRD Pro at 7 seconds. And with those beefy tires, it definitely slows it down at least 2 or 3 tenths of a second. So I could see 0 to 60 happening here in under 7. We can try a little bit of passing power right over here on the gas. Whew, that torque is unreal. Catch up to speed quickly. And we can take it out of the ECT power mode because it just kind of holds its gear like a conventional sport mode. And just cruising along at highway speeds on concrete pavement. You do hear a little bit of road noise, but you're going to hear it in any vehicle, even like a Mercedes S-Class. For concrete pavement, the isolation is really good. You don't hear a hint of drone with this 2.4-liter turbo. In its overdrive gear, you hit boost and you accelerate up hills. That's something that the 4-liter V6 simply could not do. And this is a quieter interior. It's a quicker power plant. It's a more refined feeling vehicle in general. Will it be as reliability conscious as the 3rd generation that you'd see over 200,000-300,000 miles routinely? Probably not, but considering Toyota's dedication to reliability, I'm sure for a turbocharged power plant, this will still be one of the more reliable options out there. If that's what you're looking for, guys, I would 100% recommend checking out a 2024 Toyota Tacoma. And I'd recommend sticking to an SR5 unless you absolutely need the leather seats. With this upgrade package and this really impressive sound system, this is a really impressive truck. And a huge thanks to Toyota of Tampa Bay for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to their inventory below, and if you're looking for a new car, SUV, or truck in the Tampa area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out and ask for T. And a huge thanks to all you guys for watching. I had a great time making this video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. You guys know the channel is just not possible without you, and I really appreciate the constant support. But again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe, leave a like too. It really helps me out the YouTube algorithm. That's how these videos get promoted to new people. Leave a comment, let me know what you like, let me know what you don't like, leave a comment. Let me know if there's any specific cars, SUVs, or trucks you want to see reviewed on this channel, and I'll definitely try getting those videos for you ASAP. But other than that, again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope all of you have a great day.